Jaya Radha Gopi Jana Bhava Girivardha Gopi Jana Bhava Girivardha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardha Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardha Yasodhanandana Vraja Janaram Yasodhanandana Vraja Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Jaya Radha Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardha Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardha Yasodhanandana Vraja Yasodhanandana Vraja Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe
His Divine Grace, Srila Abhay Charanar Vinda Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Nichalila Pavishna Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashto Tarasati Sriman. His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Jai Shri Rup Shri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Sadhu Swami Swami ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Sisi Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki Jai. Sri Prajabhumi Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Mathura Dham ki Jai, Sinavadvip Mayapur Dham ki Jai, Ganga Mai ki Jai, Yamuna Mai ki Jai, Tulsi Devi ki Jai, Sri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Sankirtan Yagya ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Srasadeva Books Distribution ki Jai, Glory of India Vedic Cultural Center ki Jai, Samaveda Bhaktabinda ki Jai, Vitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharine Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading continuation of the Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, the creative impetus, chapter 18, and text 24 and 25 today. Ramyake cha bhagavata priyatamam matsyam avatara rupam tadvarsa purusasya mano prapadarsitam sa idantim api mahata bhakti yogena radyatidam chodaharati. We'll all recite the next verse where there is a purport. Just read the synonyms or word-for-word translation myself and the translation in English. Ramyake cha, also in Ramyaka Varsha, Bhagavata, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Priyatamam, the foremost, Matsyam, fish, Avatara Rupam, the form of the incarnation, Tatvarsha Purusasya, of the ruler of that land, Manu, Prak, previously at the end of the Chakshusha Manvantar, Pradarshitam, exhibited, Saha, that Manu, Idanim api, even until now, Mahata Bhakti Yogena, by dint of advanced devotional service, Aradhayati, worships Supreme Personality of Godhead, Idam, this, Cha, and Udaharati, chants. Translation. Sukadev Goswami continued, in Ramyaka Varsha, where Vaivashvatamanu rules, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared as Lord Matsya at the end of the last era, the Chakshusha Manvantar. Vaivashvatamanu now worships Lord Matsya in pure devotional service and chants the following mantra. So everybody please repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Mukhyatamaya Namaha. Satvaya Pranayo Jase Sahase. Balaya Mahamatsyaya Nama Iti. Om Namo Bhagavate Mukhyatamaya Namaha. Satvaya Pranayo Jase Sahase Bhalaya. Mahamatsyaya Nama Iti. Om Namo Bhagavate Mukhyatamaya Namaha. Satvaya Pranayo Jase Sahase Balaya. Mahamatsyaya Nama Iti. Okay. Om. Oh my Lord. Namaha. Respectful obeisances. Bhagavate. Unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mukhyatamaya. the first incarnation to appear. Namaha, my respectful obeisances. Sattvaya, unto the pure transcendence. Pranaya, the origin of life. Ojase, the source of the potency of the senses. Sahase, the origin of all mental power. Balaya, the origin of bodily strength. Mahamatsyaya, unto the gigantic fish incarnation. Namaha, respectful obeisances. Iti, thus. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is pure transcendence. He is the origin of all life, bodily strength, mental power, and sensory ability. Known as Matsya Avatar, the gigantic fish incarnation, he appears first among all the incarnations. Again, I offer my obeisances unto him. Purport. Srila Jayadev Goswami sings, Pralaya payodi jale dritavanasi vedam Vihita bahitra charitra makedham Kesavadrita mina sarira Jaya Jagadisa Hare Jaya Jagadisa Hare Jaya Jagadisa Hare. They still sing this every day to Lord Jagannath in Jagannath Puri. This Das Avatar, Stotram. Soon after the cosmic creation, the entire universe was inundated with water. At that time, Lord Krishna, Keshava, incarnated as a gigantic fish to protect the Vedas. Therefore, Manu addresses Lord Matsya as Mukhya Tama, the first incarnation to appear. Fish are generally considered a mixture of the modes of ignorance and passion. But we must understand that every incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is completely transcendental. There is never any deterioration of the Supreme Lord's original transcendental quality. Therefore, the word Sattvaya is used here, meaning pure goodness on the transcendental platform. There are many incarnations of the Supreme Lord. Varaha Murti, the boar form, Kurma Murti, the tortoise form, Hayagriv Murti, the form of a horse, and so on. Yet we should never think any of them material. They are always situated on the platform of Shuddha Sattva, pure transcendence. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport in the 5th canto, chapter 18, text 25 of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Amagyanam timirandasya kyanangana shalakaya chakshurun militam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदायं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमला श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपां साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदां सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गे राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरे वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते मुख्यातमाय नमः सद्भाय प्रणायोचसे सहसे बालय महामत्स्याय नमः इति। The description, a very brief description of the first incarnation of the Supreme Lord here in the material world, at least in our universe. The first incarnation, known as Matsya avatar, is very nicely described here. Prayer by Manu. Vaivashvata, this is Vaivashvata Manu, is an incarnation of King Satyavrata. King Satyavrata is a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord, just like Bali Maharaj. Vamana appeared to please and also give benediction to Bali Maharaj. So Matsya avatar also, he appeared to give blessings and mercy to his pure devotee, King Satyavrata. And this happened long time ago, millions and millions of years ago. The story goes it says also in the Srimad Bhagavatam and the 8th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 24, the Matsya incarnation of the Supreme Lord. How the Supreme Lord appeared while King Satyavrata was doing his austerity, and he was offering oblations to the water of Kritamala river. The Kritamala river is very also auspicious, very holy river. So while he's doing his oblation, a small fish somehow appeared on his palms. And a small voice saying, "Please protect me. Please protect me." So, being a saintly person, Raja Rishi, King Satyavrata, anyone who asks for protection or help, then it is the king's duty to protect that personality or that being. So he brought back to the palace the fish. He put the fish in a jug. But then overnight, the fish became big again. So much so that he became like not able to contain in the water. So a small voice again came and say, please move me to a bigger reservoir of water. So the king then put the fish in a well. And then in a moment, it says that the king saw the fish increase in size in 3 cubits. 3 cubits. Now 1 cubit is like 1.5 feet. Like the size from your elbow to the tip of your finger right there. Of course, others who are taller, they probably have longer in size. But usually it's 1.5. So it became big again. And then the fish, there's a small voice again. The voice says, please move me to a bigger reservoir of water. And then the king put the fish on a river. In a river. And again, the fish became big. So what to do now? I don't know how the king was able to carry the fish. But the fish now became bigger than the river also. So what to do? And then the fish voice again came, now put me in a bigger place. Now what is bigger than the river now? It's an ocean, right? So he put, I don't know again what kind of instrument or equipment that the king used. Maybe some mantra. It's like, the pyramid in Egypt, how they built the pyramid in Egypt. They said it's through mantra also, because they're all big, big boulders, tons, hundreds and tons in weight. I mean, there's no equipment in those days, and it's so perfect. So in any case, this is the story in the Bhagavatam, that the king brought, with the help of the men, how many thousands of men, brought the fish to the ocean. And then he prayed, oh my dear Lord, what is your purpose? Why is it that you appeared in this shape? Usually when we think of fish, or Matsya, is not so good smelling. Kind of like having foul smell. I remember we used to do Harinam in the Philippines, and to reach those who were like needed the most, then we would go to a marketplace where they sell fish marketplace. So when you enter there, it's like almost you want to get out as soon as possible because the smell is not so pleasing. Not so pleasing. They cut the fish and all of these things, all the smell all over the place. But they needed the most. This is Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan mission. It's not that we just go to nice places to do Harinam. We have to go to the most degraded places. So, yes, the incarnations of the Lord says that as there are many species of life, how many of them? 8,400,000 species. There are also as many incarnations of the Supreme Lord. So you try to think of how many you know. We have the snake incarnation, Anantasesh. We have the boar incarnation, Varaha. We have Kurma, tortoise incarnation. We have half man, half lion, Lord Nishinghade. So yes, and Hayagri is horse incarnation. Of course, this is different. There's another demon called Hayagri. Correct, sir? This Panditji, we have to always ask him. So there are two Hayagris. There is the horse incarnation, and there is also the Hayagri, because at the time, see, there are also two Matsya incarnations, just like there are two Varaha, Sweta and red color, the whitish color, and Lal Varaha, or red color. So there are also two Matsya incarnations. So this is the first one. The second one appeared later. So it so happened that Matsya says that there'll be a devastation. Water inundated the whole world. So you please collect different species of, what do you call this, herbs. All the herbs that you can find. And you procure all of them, and when the right time comes, I will come and I will save you. So Lord Brahma, he lived for 311 trillion years, and one day of Lord Brahma is 4.2 billion years, and his night also is 4.2 billion years. So when Lord Brahma sleeps, there is a partial dissolution. It's like everything stops. Okay, but somehow it so happened that within that 7 days, of the demigods is quite long also. Lord Brahma, by the influence of time, fell asleep. This is during the day. I'm sure most of you also fall asleep during the day or during your japa. It's better to chant your rounds while sleeping, sleep while you're chanting. So, so Lord Brahma somehow or other, he fell asleep. So there's a temporary dissolution that happened as well. And the whole entire universe is inundated with water. So Matsya came again. But this time, Matsya came with a horn on his head to pull this big, what's that, ship? Is that a big ship? Boat. Ship or boat? Boat or ship. And then, in this way, it was saved. And after 7 days, the water also subsided. So there are many incarnations of the Supreme Lord, unlimited, just like the waves in the ocean. You cannot count how many waves there are in the ocean. Unlimited. And it says here that this form of the Supreme Lord, this first incarnation, of course it says 10 avatars, major avatars, but not all of them are in the Vishnu Tattva. There are like 6 types of avatars. Avatars means one who descends from the spiritual world. There is the Purusha avatar, Guna avatar, Lila avatar, Manvantar avatar, what else? Satyavesh avatar. So different avatars, but not all of them are in the category of Vishnu Tattva. Some of them are in the Jiva Tattva. But even those who are in the Jiva Tattva avatar, they have one similar quality.
Messenger audio.
One similar quality, that they are not touched by the modes of material nature. when they come to the material world, they are in the Vishuddha platform, Suddha Sattva, pure goodness. Vishuddha Sattva means is free from fear, free from all of these anomalies that we can see in the material world, anger, lust, illusion, madness, free from the modes of goodness also, free from the modes of passion, raja, sattva, and tama, ignorance. So Matsya avatar is like this. He is completely transcendental. The word that was used here, satvaya, unto pure transcendence. This is the nature of the Supreme Lord. All of the incarnations of the Supreme Lord in the material world are expansions from the Karanodakasaya Vishnu or Mahavishnu, who is also an incarnation of Sankarshan, and also a Sankarshan incarnation or expansion of Mahasankarshan, who is none other than Lord Balaram. So those personalities or living beings, incarnations of the Supreme Lord, when they come to the material world, they are not touched by the modes of material nature. Just like a lotus flower is on the water, but it is not wet. It may be in the water, you can see lotus flower, but they are not wet. So similarly, these incarnations of the Supreme Lord are in this category, completely transcendental. And from the 4th canto, chapter 3, text 23, the nature, that's what we say also Vasudev platform, right? Vasudev platform means that is the nature of pure goodness. Sattvang Vishuddhang Vasudeva Shanditam Yad iyate tatra pumang apabritaha Sattve chatasmin Bhagavan Vasudevo Hi adokshajyo me namasa vidhiyate. This is 4th canto, chapter 3, text 23. I am always engaged in offering obeisances to Lord Vasudev in pure Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is always pure consciousness, in which the Supreme Personality of Godhead, known as Vasudeva, is revealed without any covering. It's like the father of Lord Krishna is Vasudeva, yes, without the long A, without the hyphen A. And it says that the Supreme Lord appeared from within his heart. His consciousness is pure, transferred to the consciousness of Mother Devaki, and then the conception occurred, and then Lord Krishna appeared in his four-arm form, Narayan form. So the conception is not just like ordinary conception in the material world that happens between the copulation between men and women. No. Just that pure consciousness, Krishna consciousness, which is also our original Krishna consciousness, our original consciousness. See, why do we do sadhana bhakti? Why do we get up early in the morning, greet the Lord first thing in the morning, Brahma Muhurta hour, the most auspicious, Mangala? Why do we do this? Why is it that we practically do all of our spiritual activities early in the morning? To put us in the mode of goodness. It is not pure goodness yet. As Prabhupada says, at least come to the platform of goodness. Because the qualities of goodness is knowledge, understanding subtle matters. It's like what we're doing here. He says, yes, Bhagavatam is for the Paramahamsa, those who are in the pure goodness, but we are not Paramahamsas. Well, not yet, but some of us maybe. Why is it that we do that? We don't achieve, we don't get to become Krishna conscious being in the sattva platform. Because in the material world, Prabhupada says also, mode of goodness is as mixture. In the material world, there is no pure sattva. There is no pure goodness. There is always a tinge of passion and ignorance. There is no such thing as pure ignorance. there's a tinge of goodness also. It's like you can find the worst person, the worst criminal in the world who is in the mode of ignorance to the highest degree, but still you can find a little bit of goodness in him. You can still find mode of passion also, of course. So, because attaining Krishna consciousness means we have to come to the platform of pure goodness. Pure goodness. But this is a stepping stone. This is a stepping stone. When we perform all of these activities, spiritual activities, which is hopefully someday, because to serve the all pure, we have to become also all pure. To serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is transcendental in nature, we also have to come to the platform of, on that platform of transcendental nature. But we cannot reach that not until we get rid of this enjoying propensity, the material energy. When we come to the platform of Suddha Sattva or pure goodness, Visuddha Sattva, there is no such thing as I want to enjoy the material energy. You already have surpassed that. So what we're doing, like this sadhana bhakti, which is two parts, Vaidhi sadhana bhakti and Raganuga bhakti, the spontaneous platform later on, we have to somehow get rid of this propensity to enjoy the material energy. Sometimes we've seen devotees, they're so, or let's say, first of all, we've seen a materialist. He's doing many things, like, engaged almost 24 hours. But that is in the mode of passion. They want to attain a certain level of degree whereby, because they're so busy. Why they're busy? Because they want to enjoy. The result of their activities ultimately is that I want to enjoy. Now, when a devotee, when you see them also becoming very busy in service, that is not in the mode of passion. If they want to enjoy the result of their activities, because sometimes devotee says, "Oh, I want to do this service only, and I don't want to do that service." Is that in a mode of goodness or a mode of passion? It's mode of passion, right? Sometimes you will hear the devotee who say, "Oh, I'm sorry, Prabhu, that is not my nature. I only want to do this service myself." And he will do it very nicely, but then Service means we should do the service in a humble way and accept what is being offered to us because it is needed to be done. We should do that. What mode is that? Mode of goodness. Right? That is mode of goodness because you're not choosy. If you're choosy, then that is in the mode of passion. But what service that needs to be done and you do it in a humble way, then that is in the mode of goodness. But then if you do it without the propensity to enjoy, then you are in the mode of pure goodness. Because devotees also just want to do their particular kind of service, but then they want to enjoy the result of that service. Do you follow? You follow? Okay. And then there are service which are being given to us. We know we have to do it, but we do it grudgingly. Grudgingly means, oh no, why am I given this service? I don't want to do this service, but let me do it anyway. I know I can make some advancement by doing it, but oh, I wish I'm not doing this service. What kind of mode is that? Huh? Mode of passion and ignorance mixed. So, somehow or other, we have to perform our duty in a mode of goodness. We should simply prepare to accept and be humble and be an instrument, to be a servant. That's what mode of goodness means. And Visuddha Sattva stage is the stage when one is not interested in personal form of enjoyment, but naturally becomes peaceful. Sometimes also you hear some of our donors or some of our devotees, they would like to, do the best what they can, but they want to be heard, their name is being glorified in front of the devotees and the deities. So that is not pure goodness also. Even if you're doing it without any tinge of to enjoy, but you want to hear your name. So that is also enjoyment. Isn't it? Sometimes also a donor will give a donation and then, hey Prabhu, just be sure you mention my name, okay? That I gave so much, such and such donation. So Shastra says also that is not the highest. The highest when you give a donation is that no one knows that your name is not even have to be mentioned. Then the merit that you will get for that donation is much higher than if it's going to be broadcasted. So similarly, Krishna knows what's in our hearts. So the whole purpose of what we're doing, why we're doing, what we are doing, is ultimately to become free from the propensity to enjoy the result of our activities. Just like Krishna told Arjuna, just fight. Don't be worried about the result. Don't be worried. Arjuna just want to go to the forest. A saintly person, naturally he's a saintly person, as a devotee also at the same time, but that is not the proper way to act as a Satriya. Satriya has to fight even against his kinsmen. So yes, there is this Suddha Sattva, pure transcendence. So we have to understand this quality of the Supreme Lord. This is the difference, Prabhupada says also the main difference between the jivas, especially the Nityabadhas, and Lord Krishna is that because Lord Krishna is in the Vishuddha Sattva, and we are under the modes of material nature, and therefore his body doesn't change. He may have different incarnations, and these different incarnations of the Supreme Lord, they also have specific planet in Vaikuntha planet where they are being served by their respective devotees or followers. And Prabhupada says that each planet in the Vaikuntha world is much bigger than any universe in the material world. 3/4 of the entire kingdom of God is Vaikuntha. And over there is Vishuddha Sattva. There is no tinge of modes of ignorance, passion, and goodness. And 1/4 of the creation or part of the kingdom of God is the material world. And there is only 10%, less than 10% of the living beings are in the material world. More than 90% are in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, there is no such thing as these different modes of material nature that we find here in the material world. So all of these transcendental forms of the Supreme Lord, they are on the transcendental platform, pure goodness. Even though they may look like ordinary, seemingly looking like ordinary species of life, that means in other universes, these other different incarnations of the Lord, which for a specific duty, they have to appear in those different universes in order to reestablish religion, protect the devotees, and annihilate the demons. So not all the incarnations are here in our universe that we can find. There's still far more, as we mentioned earlier, 8,400,000 species of life, as many of them. So this Vishuddha Sattva, Srila Prabhupada also mentions on many occasions on his books, because in the spiritual world, the devotees of the Supreme Lord also are in the Vishuddha Sattva platform. So this is our goal, to come to that platform, because Vishuddha Sattva means Krishna consciousness. So that is our goal. And one can be still in the material world and be on the platform of Vishuddha Sattva. We just have to think this fine difference of being in the Vishuddha Sattva platform or even in the Suddha platform, mode of goodness. The main difference is that enjoying propensity. As soon as we become devoid of that enjoying propensity, that means you are in the Vishuddha platform, pure goodness. And hopefully one day we will achieve that, even in this very lifetime. As Srila Prabhupada says, you can be Krishna conscious within a moment. But that one moment of achieving Krishna consciousness, that means you must have performed also hips and hips and hips of punya, pious activities. That means you must have performed also hips and hips of lifetimes of bhakti, devotional service. But by the mercy, we can reach that goal very quickly, instantly, through Kripa Siddhi. Now we're trying to reach that goal through Sadhana Siddhi, by following these rules and regulations enunciated by the Guru, the Sastra, and the Sadhus. But we can very easily attain that by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, the spiritual master, Just like in the life of Narad Muni. Narad Muni also attained perfection by serving the Bhakti Vedantas. So we have that chance, that opportunity to come to the Vishuddha platform by serving the Lord and His devotees, not expecting anything in return, but serving them humbly and only to please them. Then eventually we'll be able to serve the Supreme Lord and see the Supreme Lord face to face. Hare Krishna. I will stop here. Have any questions, any points? Prabhu, yes?
Hare Krishna. I will speak in Hindi.
Yes.
And bring it translate into English.
All right.
Who will translate? Go. You will translate? Okay. हरे कृष्णा। तो यहाँ पर सुखदेव गोस्वामी महाराज परीक्षित को जम्बू द्वीप के जो 9 वर्ष हैं उनमें से एक वर्ष में जो भगवान का रूप है तो उसका वर्णन करते हैं और उस रूप की जो आराधना करने वाले हैं तो उनका वर्णन कर रहे हैं और आराधना किस प्रकार हो रही है, प्रार्थना किस प्रकार हो रही है, उसका वर्णन कर रहे हैं। तो जो 9 वर्ष हैं जम्बू द्वीप के उनमें सबसे बीच में इलावृत वर्ष है। तो इलावृत वर्ष में पहले वर्णन किया कि शिव जी आराधना करते हैं भगवान की। इसके बाद फिर दूसरा वर्ष भद्रासु वर्ष, इलावृत वर्ष के पूर्व दिशा में है भद्रासु वर्ष। तो वहाँ पर भद्र सेवा आराधना करते हैं भगवान हयग्रीव की। तो एक विशेष अवतार है हयग्रीव अवतार, इसकी आराधना करते हैं भद्र सेवा। इसके बाद तीसरा हरिवर्ष है जो इलावृत वर्ष के दक्षिण दिशा में है और इसमें प्रहलाद महाराज नरसिंह भगवान की आराधना करते हैं। और फिर चौथा केतुमाल वर्ष है जो इलावृत वर्ष के पश्चिम दिशा में है और यहाँ पर लक्ष्मी देवी भगवान की आराधना करते हैं जो कामदेव के रूप में प्रकट हो रही है। फिर 5वां रम्यक वर्ष है जो इलावृत वर्ष के पश्चिम नहीं उत्तर दिशा में है। रम्यक वर्ष में तो अभी वर्णन हो रहा है कि वैवस्वत मनु मत्स्य अवतार का जो है आराधना करते हैं। तो इसमें महाराज ने बताया कि वैवस्वत मनु पिछले मनवंतर में यानी 6वें मनवंतर में जो चाक्षुष मनवंतर था तो चाक्षुष मनवंतर में उस सत्यव्रत नाम के राजा थे और कृतमाला नदी के तट पर वो जो है पूजा कर रहे थे और एक मछली आई तो उसने जो है शरण मांगी। इस प्रकार से मत्स्य भगवान ने ऐसी लीला करी कि सत्यव्रत जो है राजा वो समझ गए कि साक्षात भगवान और कोई नहीं होता और फिर भगवान ने प्रलय का जो जल है वो प्रलय का दृश्य ही उपस्थित कर दिया। तो चाक्षुष मनवंतर और वैवस्वत मनवंतर के बीच में जो एक सत्युग का एक इंटरवल होता है तो 2 मनवंतरों के बीच में एक सत्युग का जो है अंतराल होता है जिसे क्या बोलते हैं उसे बोलते हैं मतलब अंतराल बोलते हैं, इंटरवल बोलते हैं। तो सत्युग का जो समय है 17,28,000 साल का। तो इतने समय के लिए भगवान मत्स्य देव ने प्रलय उपस्थित कर दी, आंशिक प्रलय ये उपस्थित कर दी और भगवान जो है पूरे इतने समय तक यानी 17 लाख तक लगातार सत्यव्रत राजा को जो है समुद्र में घुमाते रहे। तो ये भगवान का भी जो है ये प्रिय कार्य है कि अपने भक्तों को इस प्रकार से वो जो है आनंद देते हैं। तो जैसे भगवान कृष्ण ने अर्जुन को आनंद देने के लिए उनका रथ चलाया तो उसी प्रकार से भगवान ने अपने भक्त सत्यव्रत राजा को आनंद देने के लिए जो है मछली बन करके नौका चलाई। तो जैसे कभी कभी पिता भी जो है अपने पुत्र को आनंद देने के लिए घोड़ा बन जाता है और पीठ में जो है अपने पुत्र को बिठाता है, चलता है। पिता को भी अच्छा लगता है कि अपने पुत्र को जो आनंद दे। तो यहाँ पर मत्स्य भगवान भी जो है अपने भक्त को आनंद देने के लिए, सुख देने के लिए मछली बन जाते हैं और नौका को जो है आगे बढ़ाते हैं और पूरे प्रलय के समुद्र में आनंद देते हैं और आनंद देते हैं अपने भक्त को। तो सोचिए कि इतने समय तक जो है उन्होंने सत्यव्रत राजा को समुद्र में सैर कराई, समुद्र में सैर कराई। तो कोई व्यक्ति नदी में सैर करता है, समुद्र में सैर करता है, कितनी देर के लिए करता है, लेकिन भगवान का जो आनंद होता है वो लंबा होता है, बहुत लंबा होता है। तो 17,28,000 साल जो सत्यों का समय है, तो ये जो है इतना समय तक भगवान ने राजा सत्यव्रत को जो है बिठाया और सैर कराई। और राजा सत्यव्रत और मत्स्य भगवान के बीच में जो संवाद हुआ, तो राजा सत्यव्रत पूछते थे, भगवान मत्स्य उत्तर देते थे, तो वो मत्स्य पुराण कहलाता है। तो पूरा मत्स्य पुराण जो है मत्स्य भगवान द्वारा बोला गया है और राजा सत्यव्रत को जो है सुनाया गया है। जैसे ये बड़ा पुराण है, तो बड़ा भगवान ने सुनाया पृथ्वी देवी, तो पृथ्वी देवी को अपने दांत में जो है
Different incarnations, they have their own stories.
तो पृथ्वी देवी का और बड़ा भगवान का जो संवाद है वो बड़ा पुराण है। तो इसी प्रकार से मत्स्य पुराण जो है मत्स्य भगवान के द्वारा निकला है और ये भगवान का एक आनंद है। हरे कृष्ण।
Yes, very, very interesting how the Supreme Lord seemingly would like to depend on his devotees to have that reciprocation of love between the devotees and the Supreme Lord himself. We always depend on the Supreme Lord. There will not be a time that we will be independent. But to increase the bondage, the love, the relationship between the Lord and his devotees, seemingly he will put himself in a lower level that he will be depending on his devotees. Lord Krishna also is like that, seemingly he depends on Mother Yasoda. Where is my milk? Where is my milk? The pastimes of Damodar Lila to increase the love. And actually Yasoda means one who is great. She became great because of her love towards the Supreme Lord. So in the Damodar Lila, actually the main character is Mother Yasoda. So similarly here, King Satyavrata became famous and he got the award of taking birth as Vaishvashvata Manu, son of the sun god, Vivashvan. That relationship is there. Any other points from what we've discussed? Any other question? No? I hope you learned something today. Be able to remain with you, not until after breakfast, but maybe after breakfast you forget many things already, but for a long time. Okay? Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Hare Krishna.